Hare Krishna Mataji. Is it Yashomati Mataji recited the BG verses?
Yes, Mataji, I did it.
Very well. Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you for your service. Very well.
Thank you for your service, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Jalawa, you're all tummy going. I said, you're all tummy going.
Hare Krishna Neetu Mataji, please mute yourself. Hare Krishna Mataji, we'll wait for 2-3 minutes and then we'll start.
Sure, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I welcome all of you to this Bhakti Kunga Japa conference call for the mid-morning session of Sri Caitanya Bhagavat, Antya Kanta. Vancha Kalpa Tirupesha, Kripa Sindhu Pevacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All glories to all the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. Myself, Anita Ramya from Sharjah. Welcoming all of you to this Bhakti Sangha conference call for the mid-morning session of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. Before moving on to the session, I would like to know who are all present on the call today.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Neetu from Bajula.
Hare Krishna Neetu Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much Mataji for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, Sarva Shishla Prabhupada, Guru Maharajas, and all the assembled Vaishnavas. This is Kirtidas Sundari. Thank you for your services, Mataji, and thank you, Yashamati Mataji, for the beautiful recitation.
Hare Krishna Kirtida Sundari Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much Mataji for joining the call every day and giving us your association. Very grateful to you Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam to you and all Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev Vijay. Vrinda from Atlanta, Paniyatiram.
Hare Krishna, Vrinda Gopika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for all your dedication in the moment of Srila Prabhupada. And thank you so much for your association. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga, and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devidasi from Chicago, Elgin.
Hare Krishna Yashomati Priya Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for a wonderful recitation of Bhagavad Gita verses. And thank you so much for all your services. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji, for all your services. For Bhakti Sangha, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Anita.
Krishna, Anita.
Go ahead, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Priti Vilasini Mataji.
This is Preeti Vilasini Devidasi from Atlanta. Thank you, Yashomati Mataji. And thank you, Anita Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Priti Vilasini Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. And thank you so much for all your services on Bhakti Sangha. Hari Bol. And we have Kanika. Yes, Sumi Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, Dandavad Pranams, all devotees. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Sumi from Chennai, India.
Hare Krishna, Sumi Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day and giving us your association. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Kanika Govindan Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I once again welcome all of you to this Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. So today we will be having our session of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. But before moving on to the session, I would like to read Prabhupada's quote for today. So today is 15th July. Prabhupada has written a letter to Shyama Sundara Prabhu. And it comes like valuable nuts like almonds, macadamias, walnuts, coconuts, etc. take a long time to fructify. Anything valuable takes a little time to come into existence. Therefore, there is no harm in waiting for the best thing. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Very nice quote. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, dear devotees, for joining. If anyone wants to introduce themselves, please go ahead. Prabhuji has not joined it. Anyone who would like to introduce themselves? Okay. So then let's chant. So if you want to unmute, you can unmute and chant, dear devotees. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining the call and giving us your valuable time and association. And we are eagerly waiting to hear all your realizations for the verse from Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, Antya Kanta, chapter 1, verses from 110 to 123, 110 to 123. Over to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Can you all hear me? Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrindam. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrindam. So we are discussing from Chaitanya Bhagavata, Antya Kanta, chapter 1, from text 110 to 123. This is the chapter title, Meeting Again at the House of Sri Advaita Acharya. Matta Simha Praya Chalilena Gaura Simha Pache Dailena Sabacharane Bringam. The lion like Gauranga walked like a maddened lion, and the bee like servants of his lotus feet followed behind. Ganga Darashana Vesha Prabhur Ghamana Prabhura Gamanam Nagalina Paya Kehayata Bhakta Ghanam. Anxious to see the Ganges, the Lord walked so quickly that the devotees were unable to keep up with him. Sabek Nityananda Singhakari Sangem Sandhya Kale Ganga Tire Ali Nagarange. Taking only the lion like Nityananda with him, the Lord joyfully arrived at the bank of the Ganges that evening. Nityananda Sange Kari Gangaya Majanam Ganga Ganga Bhali Bahu Karila Stavanam. The Lord took bath in the Ganges with Nityananda and repeatedly recited the name of Ganga in the course of offering many prayers. Text 114. Purna Kari Karilena Ganga Jhala Bhanam Punah Punastuti Kari Karena Pranamam. The Lord drank the water of the Ganges to his full satisfaction, and after repeatedly reciting prayers, he offered obeisances. Text 115. प्रेम रस स्वरूप तुम्हारा दिव्य झलाम शिवा से तुम्हारा तत्व जाने न सकलाम Your divine water is a manifestation of the mellows of ecstatic love. Your glories are known to Lord Shiva. Text 116. Sakrit tomara nama karile shravanam, tara Vishnu bhakti haya ki puna bhakshanam. One attains devotional service to Vishnu simply by hearing your name, even once. What to speak of drinking your water? Text 117. तोमारा प्रसादे से ही श्री कृष्ण हे नामम स्फुरये जीवेर मुखे इते नाहि आनाम. By your mercy, a living entity becomes qualified to chant the name of Krishna. There is no doubt about this. Cheeta, Pakshi, Kukura, Shrigala, Yadihayam, Tatapito Masayam, Tatapita Harayata Bhagira Mahimam, Anyaterera Kotishwara Nahe Tarasamam. The good fortune of a wealthy person who lives elsewhere cannot be equated with the good fortune of insects, birds, dogs, or jackals that reside near you. Wow. Text 120. Patita tarite se tomara avataram, tomara samana tumi bhai nahi aram. You have incarnated to deliver the fallen souls. There is no one equal to you. Text 121. Yai matastuti kare Shri Gaura Sundaram, Suniya Jhanavi Devi Lajita Antaram. When Sri Gaura Sundara offered prayers in this way, Jhanavi Devi felt embarrassed. Text 122. Ye Prabhura Pada Padme Vasati Gangaram, Se Prabhu Karaya Stuti Hena Avataram. The Lord, from whose lotus feet the Ganges emanates, offered prayers to the Ganges. Such are the characteristics of this incarnation of the Lord. Text 1, 2, 3. E sunaye gaurangera ganga pratistuti tandrahaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya ratimati. Anyone who hears the prayers Gauranga offered to the Ganges will develop attachment for the lotus feet of Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Om Jnanatimirandasya Na Jnananjana Shalakayam Chakshurunmilitam Menam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrindam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So, very happy to connect with you all from Mathurapuri. I'm in South India, a holy place called Madurai. So, we are in the final section of Caitanya Bhagavata, Antya Leela. And as a part of our regular glorification of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we are getting to learn so many wonderful lessons for our Krishna consciousness. In this current section, we just heard about glories of Mother Ganges and how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave his offerings, prayers, and his submission to Mother Ganges. Gangara parasha hoile paschate pavan darshane pavitra koro yehi tumhara gun. So, Mother Ganges is glorified in equation with Vaishnavas. Of course, in that song, Vaishnavas darshan is treated at par with taking bath in Ganges. In a manner, for Ganges, we'll have to take bath, but for Vaishnavas, we can, just our darshan is good enough. Sripad Sankaracharya, he explains, Bhagavad Gita kinchita jita Ganga jalalava kanika pita Sakritapi ena murari samarcha kriyate tasya yamenana charcha. It means Bhagavad Gita kinchita jita. If somebody has slightly a small portion of Bhagavad Gita, if they have studied Bhagavad Gita kinchita jita Ganga jalalava kanika pita. If somebody has taken bath in Ganges, Sakritapi ena murari samarcha. If somebody has taken bath, taken association, worshipped, glorified Murari, Sri Krishna, kriyate tasya yamena na charcha. Why? What is that? That is something so glorifying about Mother Ganges. So we are going to discuss about few reflections along the side of glorifying Mother Ganges. And for Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we have lot of history, a lot of episodes that are connected with Mother Ganga. Jayapataka Maharaj once mentioned that it is so auspicious that if everybody is getting an opportunity to take bath in Ganga every day, it is so auspicious and blessed. But due to our preaching commitments and various other responsibilities, not everyone is able to take bath in Ganges. So he said, anyone whilst taking bath, if they remember Mother Ganges and chant the name of Ganga 3 times, then it is equivalent to taking bath in Ganga. Not only that, If somebody is not able to take bath at all due to health reasons, just by remembering. So in that capacity, Mother Ganges is also a Vaishnavi, a wonderful servant in the service of the Supreme Lord. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after taking sannyas, he is now traversing, he is now going to travel to so many places. He is going to go to Jagannath Puri, he is going to go to so many places, and even within Navadvipa, he is going to have interesting pastimes along with his associates. The idea is that Mahaprabhu wanted to win as many souls as possible in this manifested Leela, because this wholesale cleaning, this wholesale deliverance is easily possible as Gaura Sundara, because what happened was when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas, so many people cried, so many people, wept, so much so that they didn't want Mahaprabhu to leave Navadvip, because they knew that Mahaprabhu is not going to stay there. And he will start traveling. So they all were worried. And some of them were knowing that this is for the larger good, but because of Mahaprabhu's transcendental personality, separation from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very painful for them. So Mahaprabhu's this Leela of traveling around, he does plenty of different varieties of pastimes. But if he can put them into 4 buckets, maybe he can put more, but just to this context, I want to explain that Mahaprabhu's post-sannyas, his activities can be, presented or perceived or analyzed in 4 different ways. Number 1, his acharana. Number 2, his prachara. Number 3, his empowerment to subsequently run this Sankirtan mission. So he not only, did his preaching himself and delivered souls, he also empowered preachers to subsequently go and preach. So there's a component of his empowerment. And number 4, his personal love and personal bonding and personal conduct with respect to confidential pastimes and confidential associates and confidential aspect of the supreme love of Krishna. So his acharana, where as a sannyasi, he exhibited extreme humility. As a sannyasi, he exhibited extreme strictness. As a sannyasi, he made sure that he is very, very strong in his outlook and conduct, that he was not anymore that funny, jolly, jovial in general. So he was setting a very important example how a person need to be very strict in practicing devotional life. The reason I am mentioning is this, that when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was taking bath in Ganges, He was, as Vrindavan Das Thakura is writing, Mother Ganga comes from the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. That same Supreme Lord is right now in the Ganges, offering praise to the Ganges, and to the extent that she is embarrassed. And Vrindavan Das Thakura is glorifying, look at this incarnation. This is his characteristics, which means his acharana, right from the get-go of his sannyas, from the way he, showed his detachment, showed his vairagya, showed his strictness in practicing spiritual principles, showed his relationship with, women, opposite gender. So in various places at various times, Mahaprabhu demonstrated that our acharana need to be very strong, and his main part of the acharana is humility. And a second aspect of it is preaching. That humility combined with this magnanimity, generosity, combined with this glorious nature, he went and delivered people wherever he went, especially when he was traveling towards South India, which we had read in Chaitanya Charitamrita. When he was traveling towards South India, he was almost like, whomever he met on the road, from Jagannath Puri temple to Alarnath, and from Alarnath he started, embracing people. So it is not possible to show magnanimity if there is no humility. So with humility and magnanimity combined, so many people were delivered. So many people were delivered, and not only just people, he even delivered every other living entity when he was traveling inside Jharkhand forest. So my first reflection is to say that this transcendental, wonderful, glorious form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj is, glorifying. He's saying in the verse number 121, he's saying, in Krishna Sandarbha 68, it is stated, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Janardana, whose form is completely spiritual and who is always free from material contact, personally appears in the form of Ganges river water. Of this there is no doubt. In Hari Bhakti Kalpa Latika, it is stated, I offer my respectful obeisances to Sri Ganga Devi. She is a cascade of bliss, a stream of nectar from the lotus feet of Sri Hari, and the personification of devotional service to Sri Krishna. So, Mahaprabhu is, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj is glorifying Mother Ganges in connection with Supreme Lord. So, that Supreme Lord, she is, in the previous verse which we just read, that the Supreme Lord, Janardana, whose form is completely spiritual and who is always free from material contact, personally appears in the form of Ganges river water. So to that extent, the Supreme Lord is in another form. He is manifesting and trying to help all of us. So to that Supreme Lord, to that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to that Krishna, to that Janardana, Ganges is worshipping, and that Ganges is now currently being worshipped by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is the mood of a Gaudiya Vaishnava. That is the mood of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. The aspect of Mahaprabhu's preaching also involves that mood of kindness, that mood of magnanimity. And eventually, when Mahaprabhu was empowering his preachers, when Mahaprabhu was glorifying about his devotees, so he was trying to empower, look at these great, great personalities, and they are equally capable of delivering so many fallen souls, each one of them. So when they were glorifying, when he was glorifying about Advaita Acharya, Nityananda Prabhu, Gadadhar Pandit, and so many personalities, he was trying to introduce them. So from all these perspectives, we need to understand that in our journey in Krishna consciousness, we need to inculcate the sense of humility and the sense of magnanimity and the sense of appreciation, uh, sense of appreciation for people's inclination to Krishna consciousness, sense of appreciation for somebody coming in. Prabhupada was very, very kind. When somebody showed little interest in Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada used to appreciate. So my first reflection I want to say is that the mood even in which Mahaprabhu conducted himself from the time of sannyas is very interesting, and that we are going to see in every part of the Leela. So his acharana, his prachar, his empowerment, and last but not least, his his personality in the form of a confidential, Radha Bhav, which he exhibited in some places, which is only accessible to his confidential devotees, where he was completely involved in the transcendental rasa. We are not touching that now, but the remaining three, we will see that in this Antya Leela in various chapters that you will be reading, because he is going to glorify about Nityananda Prabhu is going to glorify about Gadadhar Pandit is going to glorify about so many personalities, and all these are Mahaprabhu's mood, and he never wanted everything to be done by himself. He was always in the mode of empowerment. Second reflection that I want to discuss is about some glories of Mother Ganges. This whole section is about glories of Ganges, to the extent, the last shloka we just read, that anyone who hears the prayers Gauranga offered to the Ganges will develop attachment for the lotus feet of Sri Krishna Chaitanya. So whatever we just read, so let us hear about some pastimes of Mother Ganga. Mother Ganga, Ganges, is a blessings for so many of the fallen souls, because she is personification of bhakti, she is personification of Krishna prema, and she is purifier of souls. The purifier of souls, because just by people coming in contact with her, all the sins and all the past bad accumulated sins are completely cleansed. Srila Prabhupada often emphasized that the real Ganges purification happens when Vaishnavas are chanting the holy name of the Lord, and they are trying to spread the Sankirtan mission. Then the purification of Ganges reaches to that place. So the reference of Mother Ganga is explained that just by we chanting the holy name of the Lord, just by, so everywhere, which means Ganges is so pure that she is being referenced everywhere. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in Navadvipa, Mahaprabhu had performed so many pastimes in Ganga, so many pastimes in Ganga. Even Srila Prabhupada has also performed so many pastimes in around Mother Ganges, because Srila Prabhupada had a lot of projects. ISKCON has taken up some projects. So in terms of Mother Ganges, there are 4 points as the second reflection that I want to say. Number 1, she is purifier of the soul. Number 2, she is the bridge, in the sense that she is a connecting bridge between worlds, in the sense that she connects the material and spiritual realm. When King Bhagirath brought Mother Ganges down, so she was the kind of a via media, she was kind of a opportunity, she was trying to extend herself to be engaged in taking people, to bridge people from this material world to spiritual world and giving some opportunity. So by bestowing them liberation, by bestowing them some wonderful prema, love, of course, the karma kandis and various other peoples are also glorify about Mother Ganges, where they say that we just go and take bath as a formality. So she definitely purifies, anyone who comes in contact. But Srila Prabhupada says that when someone comes in contact with Mother Ganges with an understanding, then we know that Mother Ganges is a servant of Krishna. She is she is Krishna person. She is Krishna in the form of Mother Ganges has come down to bestow blessings upon all the suffering souls. When we associate with them, she reacts differently because somebody said this. Mother Ganges once went to Krishna and said that so many people are coming and cleansing my sins of me. So what is the hope for me? The Lord said, when Vaishnavas take bath in you, you may get the rejuvenation necessary because they are transcendental associates. So in the sense, Mother Ganges react with the devotees in a very wonderful way. So the very first thing that I want to say is she is purifier of the soul. She is bridge between worlds. And third is that Mother Ganges glories, if you want to mention, Mother Ganges, she is a deliverer of, a bestower of liberation. Uh, Mother Ganges does not just reduce the karmic burden, she destroys it completely for one who bathes. So, bestower of liberation here, refers to, that's why people are, many times when they are, when anyone in their family, they die, they perform some final rites, they immerse their ashes. So, because they are, according to Garuda Puran, it is said that even in that capacity, even the ashes of the departed soul is immersed in her water, they attain liberation, they attain mukti. That's what Garuda Puran and various other scriptures they are glorifying. So she is bestower of liberation. From a Vaishnava standpoint, she is actually the bhakti personified, saying that once Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was chanting and dancing, and he was playing near Mother Ganges. His entire Sankirtana movement began from that point. So Mahaprabhu was chanting and dancing, and when he was leaving, after this episode, you will see that when he was leaving, so he looked back at Mother Ganges with tears in her eyes and tears in his eyes, saying, Mother Ganga, I shall never again bathe in your waters. Please forgive me and bless my path. So Mahaprabhu is, considering Ganges as that personality who would offer bhakti and give deeper connection to the Supreme Lord. To that extent, Mother Ganges is purified. One of our, devotee friends, um, his name I forgot. He has compiled a very wonderful book on Mother Ganga. He used to be a Padyatra in charge. He used to travel India. He's a disciple of Loknath Maharaj. I'm forgetting his name. So he has compiled a beautiful book on Mother Ganga. So sometimes you all can refer. So as a second reflection, I want to say that Mother Ganges, she is a wonderful, great Vaishnavi. And in another sense, as we just read, she is the personification, according to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj. She is none other than the Supreme Lord personally appears in the form of Ganges river water. So, and there are more glories that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj writes in text number 121. He says, when King Bhagirath approached Lord Shiva and requested him to sustain the forceful waves of Ganges, Lord Shiva accepted the proposal by saying, "Let it be so." Then, with great attention, he sustained the Ganges on his head, for the water of the Ganges is purifying, having emanated from the toes of Lord Vishnu. So, technically, it's not only Mother Ganges on her own personality, she's great, because she is emanating from the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. She is a Mahaprasadam. So, Lord Shiva was ecstatic, supremely ecstatic. In Srimad Bhagavatam 9:9:15, it is stated that great sages, completely freed from material lusty desires, devote their minds fully to the service of the Lord. Such persons are liberated from material bondage without difficulty, and they become transcendently situated, acquiring the spiritual quality of the Lord. This is the glory of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So technically, there are, if you see the whole purport of text 121, discusses about different aspects of Mother Ganges. So my second reflection, I want to say that Mother Ganges, she's a purifier of the soul. She is definitely the bridge between world. She is bestower of liberation, and she is the one who provides a deeper connection devotionally. And she has a very significant contribution when anyone is interested in performing Hari Bhakti. That is why when we start our prayer itself, we chant, taking invoking auspiciousness and taking bath in Ganges to become qualified to you know it is important that we all worship. So Ganga, like how Go Mata is one integral part of our devotional journey, Ganga Mata is another integral part of our devotional journey, because as a performance of every samskara, every puja, every vidhi, everything, we have to do achamana, and every time when we do achamana, every time when we purify ourselves, and every aspects, so tulsi leaf, Gomutra, Ganga Jal, they are all important ingredients for our, every, samskaras. So from that perspective, Mother Ganges is glorious. And that's the second reflection that I want to say. The third reflection that I want to say is that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as he was, trying to um, take bath in Mother, Ganges, in the verse number 1 onwards, they were saying, lion like, lion like, lion like, at least 3-4 verses. So I want to speak a little bit on that. So if you see verse number 110, we started as like a Singha, maddened lion. So they was also referring about lion like Nityananda Prabhu. So what is that lion like? What is that? So I want to share a couple of reflections on that point. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's one of the important reasons for taking sannyas was to provide an authority. So this authority is important. That is why he even took sannyas from a Ekadandi, Mayavadi. Of course, the story all was elaborately discussed. But then Mahaprabhu wanted that authority, wanted that power, wanted that position, wanted that demeanor, wanted that thing to make sure he is able to present, establish, and install this Krishna consciousness movement in a bona fide way. So, this lion-like, there are many, many ways in many, many places the Lord is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is glorified, as lion-like. So my reading is, I have 3 points associated with that. Number 1 is about the authority. So the authority is to make sure that nobody takes him lightly, nobody considers that Mahaprabhu's activities are just some sort of emotions only, and they are very important, bona fide. And number 2, this lion-like, my understanding is, or my reflection is around, where the Lord is, it is said that he is intoxicated. He is, in the verse number 110 purport, it is explained that Matta Singha, maddened lion, is Matta Gaja, maddened elephant. So this mad is mad after Krishna Prema. So he is not just an authority for presenting the science of Krishna consciousness. He is also an authority for exhibiting the love and emotions like a mad elephant. And here, mad is not in terms of the craziness, it's mad in terms of being completely intoxicated. So, when the intoxication happens, it is like, you're not able to realize what's going on around. You completely dive deep into the transcendental emotions. So this word maddened is used to highlight the height of transcendental intoxication with which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu preached. So he held the mood of a very lion-like, an authority-like, with a heart completely intoxicated with Krishna Prema. And the third aspect of it is that he wants to say that every other aspects of philosophy, this is like a king-like. So if this Sankirtan mission, this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Harinama Sankirtan, Harinama Andolan, it is the gem, it is like the topmost aspect of it, and every other processes are subservient to that. This is explained in a book by, if I'm right, is Suhotra Maharaj or Purushatraya Maharaj. So in that they have mentioned how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his preaching, even though he has integrated various philosophies in his preaching, he has threaded them together with one single thread called Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So he has taken principles from Ramanuja Sampradaya, Madhva Sampradaya, Nimbarga Sampradaya, Vishnu Swami Sampradaya. So from all the 4 Sampradayas, and he has evolved, created, Achintya Beda, Abheda Tattva, and he strung these philosophies. He has inherited two principles from each of this. Sri Sampradaya, Rudra Kumara, and Sri Rudra Kumara, and one more, the 4th Sampradaya. So Sri Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya, Kumara Sampradaya, and Brahma Sampradaya. So from all these 4 Sampradayas, Madhu Sampradaya, he has picked up two principles. And he picked them up, but presented this Achintya Beda Abheda Tattva as with holy name, with Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the mood of Gaudiya Vaishnavism as a topmost, as a king-like of all the other. So every other philosophy is embedded into this. So from that perspective, what we are blessed with, that is why one proper disciple used to mention how Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita is not just a postgraduate study, but is actually exemplifying the mood of loving devotion that is necessary for a practitioner to eventually get Krishna Prema. So which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is demonstrating. No other incarnations have given. That is why he says that this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's incarnation is Mahavadanya, Mahaudarya, Adbhuta Karunya, Adbhuta Vadanya, and Adbhuta Audarya incarnation. So the third reflection is like how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's transcendental pastimes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's activities have become lion-like. And the Vaishnavas are like bee-like servants, following them. When the lion is leading us and we are just following them, we are following them just by we being the followers. We also get the credit, we also get the benefit, we also get the advantage of walking in that path of Harinama Sankirtan. So that is why every time, whenever this preaching happens, this reference of lion like is come. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj used to be called as Singha Guru because he used to roar like a lion. One of the Abhangas in Tukaram Maharaj's Varkari group, they used to sing Harinama Garjatam Nahim Bayasindam Aisi Bole Gita Bhagavata. So whenever we want to emphatically present the science of Krishna consciousness, we always mention about Garjatam. Gayatam, we don't say Harinama Gayatam. So that they sang the Harinam Sankirtana. Harinama Garjatam Nahim Bayasindam Aisi Bole Gita Bhagavatam Garjatam. So this lion-like aspect is something very interesting, which is to just emphasize that let Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's activities not be taken lightly. Let these emotional exhibitions of his maddened lion is not being seen as some sort of a childish sentiment. That means that he is intoxicated, and that's the capacity of this process to intoxicate each and every one of us. And third is the Siddhanta that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given is is so kingly, it is so royal, it is so great, it is so special that all the acharyas are roaring. They are presenting Krishna consciousness and they are saying how this is the solution for the society at large. These are the three sets of reflections, but I just want to add one underlying statement that these three, when we spoke about first reflection where Mahaprabhu's mood, number two, glories of Mother Ganges, and number three, the Singha like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's personality, all three of them are meant to help us come out of our conditioned state of entanglement. Where I was recently reading an article where it said that a person, because of his wrong identity or identity crisis, he is not able to settle in Krishna consciousness. Sometimes we as a practicing devotee, we get into this identity crisis. Sometimes we take the identity of a programmer based on our profession. Sometimes we take the identity based on our association. Sometimes we take identity based on our social status. Sometimes we take identity based on our various other factors. So for us to eventually come down to the state of being a servant, we need to relinquish all forms of material identity and eventually bow down to the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And here he is demonstrating that as a Singha like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is demonstrating that by bowing down, by glorifying, by surrendering, by appreciating, and by taking shelter of Bhakti personification, Bhakti Devi, or Ganga Devi as a personality who can give us Bhakti connect. Because these ego, this ahankara, this identity crisis is a very big crisis. Some of us who are all practicing Krishna consciousness in our preaching situations, we have seen how the current day generations, they are confused what is their real identity. Sometimes we have to portray multiple identities and we are suffering with this multiple personality disorder. In Ramayana, I read or heard in a very interesting point about 8 different types of ego. So it was very interesting that how this holy name, how this Sankirtan mission is such a solution to crush all these types of ego. The ego of I can do anything, the ego of money, the ego of looks, the ego of kula and varna, the ego of vidya, the ego of pratishta or pad position, the ego of tyaga, the ego of dharma. These are the 8 types of ego which are constantly surrounding us, which is not trying to make us be like. While the Lord is sing alike, for us to be a be like servant. Why we have not been if the lion is going for, we should be lion like servants. No, we are be like servants. The reason is already we are thinking we are lion like. Already we are our ego, our personality is such that because of our conditioning, we think that we are very great, very powerful, and things like that. So these 8 different types of ego, which is like I can do anything, or I have a lot of money, or I am looking beautiful, or I am of a very high caste, or I have a very great education, or my position and power is extraordinary, or look at my sacrifice, I have done a great sacrifice, or I am a very highly religious bona fide person. Any one of them or all of them, sometimes overpower a person and does not make us follow Singha like personalities, and it comes in our way because ego thinks that I can be doing anything, I can also do what the other person is doing. But it is important that for us to follow our Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is roaring like a lion, we have to become be like. And for us to become be like, it is important that we should follow the lotus feet of Vaishnavas. Gaur Govind Maharaj was saying in the other day class, saying that it's very simple that you associate with Vaishnava because Vaishnava's heart are like child. They are very simple. Simplicity is Vaishnavism, and they will help you try to become another Vaishnava as himself. So anyway, that is another extra point that I want to say, that for us to become be like, what is stopping us is our ego. Because our ego is a tussle between selfishness versus selflessness, and in the spectrum of materialism versus spiritualism. That combination, we have 4 combination. Either I am materially selfish or materially selfless, or I am spiritually selfish or spiritually selfless. This gives me 4 combination. When I am materially selfish, then I am in the ego, in the mode of ignorance. When I am materially selfless, then I am in the ego, in the mode of passion. When I am spiritually selfish, then I am in the mode of goodness. But when I am spiritually selfless, that's when I am coming to become a be-like servant. So it is important for us to become spiritually selfless. If at all we want to have some, choice, spiritually selfish is also kind of acceptable because we are still in the stage of purification, but never swing in the stage of becoming materially selfless or materially selfish, because anything to do with materialism, we will never be able to be like. If we cannot be like, we will definitely think that we are lion like, and waste our rare human form of life. So to summarize our conversation, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's transcendental sannyas leela is just begun, and Mahaprabhu is going to travel everywhere and going to win more and more souls. So as a matter of fact, this particular section we are glorifying about Mahaprabhu's one part of him visiting Advaita Acharya's house, and he's taking Nityananda Prabhu for a bath in Mother Ganges, and we had 3 reflections. Reflection number 1 is about Mahaprabhu's mood, and I said that I would divide Mahaprabhu's Leela, Sannyas Leela, into 4, 4 sections. This is just a way to look at his activities. There are plenty of ways you can analyze. One is Mahaprabhu, by his acharana, he is preaching. Second is he is preaching by winning more souls. Third is by empowering. And fourth is by participating in the most esoteric transcendental rasa of Radha Bhav. He was also trying to exhibit some transcendental leela for his confidential servants. And in this particular episode of this 12, 13 verses, he's showing that how he's showing the sign of humility and magnanimity, and he is offering his prayers. And Vrindavan Das Thakura is saying these prayers, just by hearing them, will develop attachment to the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Second is we discussed about the glories of Mother Ganges. And in the glories of Mother Ganges, we discussed how she is deliverer of sinful people, how she is bridge between material world to spiritual world, how she is giver of liberation, and how she is the personified to help us develop deeper connection with the Supreme Lord, to develop bhakti. Ganga Jalalava Kanika Pita. If somebody just think of Ganges, somebody come in association with Ganges, they are not able to worried about Yamaraj at all, which means death is not going to haunt them. The third is lion-like Gauranga. So why lion-like? Lion-like because he's a king. He's a personified. He's a very special incarnation where he is exhibiting his authority. That now this agenda that I am now going to take on, or I have just taken on, please don't take me lightly. I'm coming with a specific agenda to win all of you. So, lion-like to establish his authority. Number two, lion-like to maddened lion-like to exhibit also his internal mood of transcendental love and ecstasy. And number three is to establish how the philosophy, the Siddhanta that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was given is king-like, and hence all his followers are also roaring and presenting the king-like philosophy and solutions to the fallen souls. So thank you all so much. There are any questions, comments, reflections, I'll be happy to respond. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai, Tai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for such a very detailed class. Very nice points you gave. And we have hand raised. Parima Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for this wonderful class, and we had wonderful pointers from your class. Prabhuji, the last part where you said that material selflessness, material selfishness, spiritual selflessness, and spiritual selfishness, that was really, those points were wonderful. But the thing is, Prabhuji, how do we identify these? I mean, can you please elaborate on this? How do we identify these in our life? And how do we drift from the material aspect to the spiritual aspect? If you can elaborate on these points.
Okay, so basically, the second chapter onwards, Krishna has started explaining to Arjuna about the importance of performing activities for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. Right from 2.49 Bhagavad Gita, where 2.49 is a very important shloka called Durena hi avaram karma udyoga dhananjaya. So, what is this avaram? Avaram is any distraction from the main focal point. That could be materialistic activities, that could be even karma kandic activities, that could be anything which we are carried away by the flowery words of Vedas. So what Krishna is trying to highlight is sometimes we don't realize, or the nature of ego is such that we don't realize that when do we get trapped into the segment. So if we can imagine it as a graph, so it's a very interesting graph that I saw. If you're studying mathematics, plus x minus x plus y minus y graph, and you put on the top selfish, on the bottom selfless, on the right extreme material, on the left extreme spiritual. So this four quadrant is a four quadrant for our understanding. I'll like to explain the concept again, then we'll come to how do we recognize and how do we try to swing towards one quadrant or the other. So the top right quadrant which is material and selfish, which is the ego in the mode of ignorance.
Ignorance.
And there we are recognizing ourselves with body. There we are always dwelling on our external things. There we are not able to recognize, identify even. So we see illusion as reality or reality as illusion and somehow dwell on ours. And that quadrant and the quadrant below that quadrant, which is selfless material, because sometimes we may think that just because I am selfless, I should be given some brownie points. But it is to be very carefully noted, because it is on the side of material, those brownie points are very temporary. For example, I do charity, I construct orphanage, I try to give some food to old age homes. It is not wrong, but I'm saying it is for some material name, fame, power, position, recognition, etc. So what happens is that because there is a hidden agenda, so it is a bigger trap. So it is much bigger than the earlier quadrant. So these two quadrants, that is why in all our activities, wherever the word selfish, material comes, then we should immediately raise our hands and think twice before we do this. So I used to always tell this to our students, that every decision that we take, at least from now on, we should ask three questions. Number one, am I pleasing Guru and Krishna by this action? Number two, is this action very much important, critical for my survival? Because you have to survive to do this. And number three, if this action is going to, harm or, break any of my existing relationship, based on the answers, if the answer is, if it is not going to please Guru and Krishna. Number two, if it is a question of risk if it is something that you're not at risk of survival. Number three, if some devotees or some people, some relationships are going to be compromised, then we should be ready to say, no, I will not do this, even though apparently there is going to be some temporary benefits. So that is why that line, the straight line in the quadrant, if not, it's called borderline scenarios. Sometimes we'll be on the line, we'll be on the edge, swinging between both ways. So that is why the selfless person, if he has learned selflessness, if he just swings little bit towards spirituality, he comes into a mode of super goodness. Just because he swings towards materialistic life. So if you know the graph plotting, just on the side of the right spectrum, the right quadrant, we are in a risky proposition. So that is why, as a practicing devotee, at least one sense of maturity that we need to bring in is, before taking every decision, ask these questions. And seldom we do not have courage to ask these questions. We do not have inclination to ask these questions, or somewhere or other our conditioning forces us not to ask these questions. That is why you can't grow to Krishna and loudly pray. I can't pray. Nadanam, najanam, na sundarim, kavitam, va jagadisha kame. Zillion times you would have chanted this. Can we chant the English meaning of this, crying to Krishna? My dear Lord, nadanam, I do not want any followers. I do not want any money. बोलते बोलते हम कांप लेते हैं. We get a shiver on our spine. I mean, saying, oh my God, what if Krishna says tatastu, then I'll be deprived of facilities. We forget this fundamental point, saying that I am anyway under his control. Whether he comes, cannot come, give, not give, I am under his control. So it is his agenda to look after me. So I should not be worrying about it. That is only a philosophical statement, but for us to put in practice, going forward, those decisions that we take, if we superimpose this question and have a very strong courage to say no. For example, somebody comes and tell you, Mataji, I'll give you $5,000 if you eat one plate of non-vegetarian food. I am sure we will not get tempted. How much ever that $5,000 may be a very good attraction, because you have got enough conviction by now for us to say that no, that is sin. That is something that I not like. So there are many gross attractions we have given up. For the subtle attraction to give up, we need to be like and go behind lion like Vaishnavas. I'm not sure if I'm making sense, but very importantly, it is in the way of you asking question. I'll tell you one last psychological statement. The psychological statement is anytime when anybody is doing anything wrong, the first safe mechanism is screaming. They say when the child screams, when the girl screams, or when the people scream when they are attacked, that scream is what the attacker or the thief is going to first control, because that is against their agenda. You cannot handle that. So similarly, you scream to your mind, you scream to yourself that no, this is not, I will not. So to scream that is why we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra loudly. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we scream because that helps us in trying to fight against our own what you call as arrogance. So you say, hey, arrogance, no, sorry, it is not acceptable, it is not okay, I do not want. So to control that arrogance, we need to scream, and that scream is our prayers. Thank you so much for your questions. In case if I have not answered, you can let me know.
No, Prabhuji, wonderful. Actually, the graph that you explained was really, it made it very, very clear. But just one last question, Prabhuji. There are some people, of course, they do some materialistic activities, but sometimes they really don't expect anything in return. Where do they fall in this graph?
If they don't expect anything in return, but they are not spiritual, they are still classified as somebody selfish, because so mode of goodness is such that I am spiritually selfish. They don't expect anything in return from you, but they have some understanding. So everybody operates on a philosophy. So they have their own philosophy. For example, I don't believe in God, but I pay my tax and follow the traffic rules nicely. So I am a good citizen. So I am a good citizen, so I should be rewarded. Yeah, they should be rewarded. But what is the value of that reward? How long the reward is going to sustain? So that's a debatable question. So that is why we say, as Vaishnavas, we do what you do, but we do 20 things more than that also. So that is why we are supposed to be a gentleman and much beyond that also. So Prabhupada explains that as a practicing devotee, you are not only going to take care of all the materialistic perfection, but you'll be spiritually, pure also. So from that perspective, a Vaishnava, a devotee is better off.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for a wonderful answer. Really, it made a lot of difference. Thank
Hare
you
Krishna.
very, very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna,
Thank you.
Prabhuji. Sorry, go
Yes,
ahead.
go ahead, Mataji. Go ahead, Mataji.
No, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, I just want to thank you. It was very wonderful reflections that you shared. And of course, what Parima Mataji was asking, even I had that question, but through her, I got an answer. So, and I really like the point that how we cry while we are chanting, like we should cry while we are chanting, because that's the scream to the Lord. That when we are in trouble, when we are in pain, when we are in distress, when we are in separation. Very beautiful point and very beautiful analogy you explained so nicely. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you so much for your association. Sorry, Anita Mataji, for just jumping in between.
So this scream is not only to the Lord, its scream is also to the miscreants who are around us. Because when you scream, the miscreants know that I am vigilant and I will expose you. So that is what our mind, villain mind, will think, that I will somehow, distract this guy. That is why they say you are. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj says this in Vaishnava Ke. He says that, hey, where I read it, Krishna, somewhere I read it recently. Just this Sunday when I was giving a class, Bhagavatam class, for that we read, I think Srimad Bhagavatam 4:7, 1920, somewhere that verse says, even, I don't know where Bhagavatam or somewhere I read, even when you try to chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra in solitude, in some seclusion, that is also some sort of a Maya. So that is what it is saying, that to be very careful how your ego, how your mind will trick you to take you away from Krishna, giving Krishna conscious reasons. Because now, by now, we as practicing devotees have enough philosophy, so we know how to give Krishna conscious reasons for our nonsense. So we have to be very careful. That is why the screaming helps. Sometimes screaming is a very good tool for us to save our mind to become a victim of our senses.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you for clarifying.
Any other thoughts?
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving such a wonderful reply. So yes, of course, in this session, there are so many things to take away. Like you said about the 4 types of egos, and which is mentioned in Ramayana, right?
Yeah.
Can you just tell
I
once
don't know.
again?
I do not know where I read those 8 types of ego. It's I think I heard it in a lecture or somewhere. These are all, I mean, technically also if you analyze, these are all 8 different ways by which people are proud about their identity. So because recently on Saturday, I took a group of 20 boys and girls to a 1-day retreat. So we were discussing, because the current younger generation have this identity crisis. Actually, what am I? Who am I? Am I really supposed to be in a devotee attire and be devotional? So many confusions. So we were discussing about identity crisis of a practicing devotee. So we all have this identity crisis. And sometimes we are so confused that, sometimes when you are watching your OTT series in Netflix, you are so lost in your identity that you forget that you are a second initiated counselor for someone, and somebody watches you, what will happen? You get red-handed and you have to blush. You forget that. So it is extremely important that this identity crisis is addressed, and that's why I said, because of that crisis, I was trying to reflect on this be like servant. How you can be like servant? Bee only chooses. Prabhupada gives example of fly versus bee. How much ever hungry maybe the bee will not go to stool. We will only go to flower. A fly will go to any stool and sit and eat and come. So a bee like means I am choosy, and I can be choosy when I can be relinquish shedding my baggage of ego. So that's what the point is.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So very nicely you gave the reply, and very nice. For Mataji's question, also you said that Maya gives many Krishna conscious reasons to distract us. That's also very true, Prabhu. So yeah, many of times we see that in our lives also. Means like I'm saying about myself, and very nicely you explain about the material selfishness and selflessness, and spiritual selfishness and selflessness. And I just want to know, what is it spiritual selfish?
It means somebody trying what Dhruva Maharaj wanted originally. Before Dhruva Maharaj became a devotee, Dhruva Maharaj wanted to see Krishna to sit in father's lap, get power, position. So the idea is that we have, like what Vishwamitra wanted. Vishwamitra wanted to become Raja Rishi, Brahma Rishi, Maharishi, because he wanted Surabhi cow. So those are all spiritual activities, spiritual endeavors, but then having some personal material agenda. So I mean selfish agenda. So it's okay. It's not bad. Akama sarvakama moksha kama va utarati tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. So it's understandable. So long as you are practicing devotional life, it's okay. That is why I said, if you can't be in the 4th zone, which is on selfless spiritual zone, at least to the extent be in the spiritual side of the spectrum, not in the material side of the spectrum, even though it may be called selfish.
So I just have a question here. Then at what point does a sadhaka be in this thing, Prabhu?
when he starts serving his spiritual master and Vaishnavas. My spiritual authority said, the day you start cleaning the toilets, the day you start looking after people's shoes, the day you start doing menial service, washing pots, mopping the floor, and not expecting a garland and recognition, that's when we will all, swing towards the last quadrant. Because the white collar profiled services are very attractive. Uh, so if you see great personalities, they've done what I just said. They've cleaned toilets, washed toilets, did some very, very, very menial services. And that's how they, what Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj's activities used to be, what Gauri Krishna Das Babaji Maharaj's activities used to be, what Ishwara Puri's activities used to be, what every great personalities, what they have done. They have not been in the, socio-economical, forum. That is Prabhupada's boldness. And that is another greatness of Prabhupada. I mean, he did uncommon activity and he had given a master stroke and won all the people and went boldly told, you idiots, I have not come for your money. I have come to give you something. I am the only one who has come to America to give you something, not take away from you something. So that is Prabhupada. So we have got wonderful personalities in all combination. Be a lion-like personality, go and roar and preach. At the same time, when it comes to your bhajana, please know how to be in your bhajana. So the only way for us to develop the sense of servitude is to be in the assembly of Vaishnavas and serve. No other way.
Yeah. Thank
Which
you so
means
much.
we all have to have service, not lip service,
Mhm.
physical service. Just physically, just pick up broom and go to some toilets and clean some Vaishnavas' toilets or temple toilets. Look after shoe stand. I'm not saying this for the formality. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj says, every day morning 100 times beat your mind with the broomsticks, and every day evening you beat your mind with 100 times with chappals.
Mm.
How will you beat your mind with chappal? I have a chappal in my hand. How will I beat my mind? At least by looking after a chapel stand, by choosing that service, which is otherwise seen as a blue collar service.
Mm. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. And I just had a follow-up question. Yes, of course, sadhaka, they're also going for, everyone is going for white collar jobs, right? So in that case, how can we segregate them in material selfishness and spiritual selflessness? Because
The idea
even
is
as a
that,
sadhaka, they also, sorry, Prabhu, go ahead.
yeah,
Sorry.
go ahead.
So because even as sadhaka also as a sadhaka we also have that material selfishness, selflessness, everything is there. Means like more selfishness is also there. So how can we understand this?
The idea is that our so-called modern day uh, uh, profession profile is unfortunately, coincidentally, is our um, survival, or what we call as our grahasthashrama's need. But then, when we take up Krishna consciousness, we try to take the best use of the bad bargain. There is always a risk of everything. Like Indra is performing his service. There is a risk in that service because there is a profile associated with that. Brahma is a devotee, but there is a risk associated with it. But he is somehow or other. So the more there is a risk, the more you take caution. The idea is that you can't, if you have vairagya, okay, quit your job and come to temple, and temple is ready to look after you. But we do not have that vairagya, and that vairagya cannot be artificially forced. So that is why we do three things parallelly. One is our own personal sadhana, acharana. Number two, sangha. Number three, seva. And naturally, the outcome is good sadachara. So by my good sadhana, I am trying to constantly tell myself, warn myself, they go, you are becoming. So when Prabhupada used to go and preach, he used to roar like a lion. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj used to roaring like a lion. Does that mean they are arrogant people? No. They are so humble that Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada said that all you disciples are representative of my Gurudev. So where is that humility coming from? Because only it is there from within. That success is because of that humility within and roaring like a lion, which is what Bhakti Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is demonstrating here. He is roaring like a lion, holding on to the sense of humility within himself. So which is a very rare combination, which is very difficult. So as a doctor, handling the patient need to be extra cautious. A practicing devotee dealing with material corporate job. That is why Kunti Maharani in Kunti Stuti says, beauty, power, position, richness, they are all obstacles in Krishna consciousness. So these are all obstacles. But that doesn't mean that, oh, you just go and throw it away. No. You should learn to use them in Krishna conscious favor. So that is why we need some Sangha who can help do it.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very nice detailed explanation. And yeah, we have some chat. In this, Priti Vilasini Mataji is saying that she is unable to mute, but she is glorifying the class. That the class was very wonderful. Saying about the glories of Ganga Mata and also various kinds of egos. So thank you so much, Mataji. And yeah, beautiful question and answer session also. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So with your devotees, any other questions or realizations? Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So no more questions or hand raised. So with your permission, we'll end the call here.
Yeah.
Vancha kalpatarupasya kripa sindhu vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavabhyo namaha ananta koti vaishnavam ki jai Srila
Srila
Prabhupada
Prabhupada
ki jai.
ki
His
jai.
grace Ramgiridhari Prabhuji ki
Ki
jai.
jai.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna Prabhuji.
Prabhuji. Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
so
Hare
much.
Krishna
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, dear devotees.
Thank you.
So beautiful class.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
We'll end the session, Mataji.
I'll take the host.
Yeah. Priti Vilasini Mataji should end, I think.
I'll take up.
Okay, fine.
Okay, dear devotees, ending the call. See you all tomorrow.
Thank